Hello, backround here with another World of Tanks video. I know it's been a while since I've posted any videos, and so I am back and starting with a World of Tanks video, and gonna do something a little different. First of all, I want you to notice how beautiful this garage is. This is the standard garage for World of Tanks with the 9.0. This is the first video I've made for the 9.0 patch. Looks quite nice, and the only reason I haven't been able to do any videos is I have been extremely busy with my job. Just found out also that I'm going to be a father come this December, so I've been real busy with that. Also, been working on a few other things, playing a few other games, getting some feel for it. But I am back, and I'm actually going to do something a little different with this video. It's not going to be a video on one particular tank, but more about a general overview of World of Tanks and what went into it, what's about, especially for those of you who may not have played World of Tanks before or might be interested, they just aren't 100% sure, and some downsides and drawbacks or advantages, or just, my opinions in general. I have played this game actually since it went to since I was in closed beta. I got a closed beta invite, so I've been playing this game ever since, off and on. When this game went live, I started with this tank here, the T1 Cunningham, worked up the US line till I hit the tier 7 US heavy tank T29, took 3 months off and came back with a vengeance. But World of Tanks is basically a World War II type game, or based on World War II tanks, such as this tank here, the T1 Cunningham. Now, in this game, there are tanks that you probably would be familiar with. A couple of them. One of them you would definitely be familiar with is this tank right here, the Tiger, and in the game listing it is known as the Tiger 1. Another well-known tank from World War II that is in this game would be the M4 Sherman, which was the main battle tank for the United States military during World War II. Now, there are a lot of other tanks in this game. Let me see if I can find one in my garage. It's right down below, as you can see. We'll take this tank, the T95. A lot of tanks like the T95. Actually, I think the T95 was. Anyway, a lot of tanks in this game were not actually ever made or produced during World War II. However, the only reason that they are in this game is because the game maker, wargaming.net, has been working with governments from Russia, the United States, France, China, Germany, and have acquired a lot of the blueprints and technical readouts for a lot of these tanks. So like one tank that was in blueprints, like here, the T110E5, it was in blueprints, but never was really in development. It never hit development, or maybe there were prototypes that were made. One of them, like the T30, prototypes were made for the T30, but it was never mass produced. So there are some actual historical relevance to a lot of these tanks, there might be a couple that were wargaming design, but for 99.9% of this is historically accurate. Now, there might be some questions as far as, like, guns that were used and such. Some of those might be questionable, but for the most part, they are fairly accurate. So I am going to quickly pick a tank. I will go back to my T1 Cunningham, and I will load it up, and we're going to go into a battle. As I will continue to explain more about this game. This game is actually fairly simple to understand, fairly simple to figure out, and wow, there's not a whole lot. In the game, there are 10 tiers. There's a tier 1. There we go. As you can see, there's a bunch of these are all tier 1 tanks. The tanks at the top, there's involved in World War II. You have the United States, you have Britain, you've got Germany, you got Russia. They've added tanks from other nations that didn't really participate much in the war, but more of a, if they had, this is what they would have been, such as France, China. There's even talk about them creating a European nation, which would give us more tanks like from other nations and what have you. The maps are very well, beautifully done. A lot of them are very well done. Ooh, and I'm getting shot. As you can see, it's very action intense. Gonna switch over to another person and just kind of watch them. This game has a lot to offer. It is experience based, so as you compete in battles, depending on how well you do, if you win, if you lose, you get, or how well you actually perform in the battle, you will get that much experience where you can unlock modules, equipment for your tank, such as tracks, engines, radios, guns, turrets. You can even unlock, you can even unlock the next tier tanks, such as, so like if you had enough experience, you could move up to the next tier, which would be a tier 2. And the tier 1s are fairly basic. It's from tier 2 on that you actually get a lot more variety. There are 4 or 5 different types of tanks in this game. Let me just go ahead and exit out of this. I can actually show you a few of them. You've actually seen thus far. Again, the tier 1s are your just basic vanilla. I'll show you some of the higher tiers. Like, for example, here, the IS-3. This is a heavy tank. Then you get to the tank destroyers. Whoops, wait a minute. This is actually a medium tank. So you have a heavy, you have a medium. There's another classification for light, which is also normally a scout tank. And then you have, there we go, tank destroyers. This is what I was trying to get a moment ago. And then there's also another class I completely forgot, and that is artillery, which has been pretty much scrutinized and under fire quite a bit in this game. You have a lot. I will admit right now, World of Tanks is not the perfect game. In fact, I have heard a lot of people comparing World of Tanks to War Thunder's Ground Forces, which is right now in closed beta. I have not yet played that game. It looks interesting, and that seems to give a lot more realism to it, but from what I've seen on YouTube video that people have done posted of closed beta play, the one difference between the realism that War Thunder gives you and the realism that World of Tanks gives you is in War Thunder, when you die, if you have another tank, you can get into that tank and play in the same battle. Whereas in World of Tanks, when you get killed, you're done in that battle. You have to come back to the garage and select another tank where you can go right into battle again with, your next opposing. Show you here. This is what I was talking about. Once you get experience, like right now I have 2,534 experience on the ISU 152. You can use that to unlock various components on the tanks and even unlock the next tank, like my next tank. To unlock will be the Object 407. And there's more stuff to unlock for this particular tank as well as the final tank. There are, again, 10 tiers, and I will use, we'll use the Russians as an example. It does get confusing. You look at this tech tree, as you see, our battle indicator shows we lost that tier 1 match, which isn't a whole big deal. But here, it can get confusing. It does get confusing. But you can play around with a lot of things. There are, in my personal opinion, there are such tank trees that are good and not good. You also have the ability to get gold, whether through various in-game events, or you can buy gold off the World of Tanks website, and you can use that towards premium, which is what I have, a premium account, which gives you extra credit and experience per battle. You can even use it to buy garage slots. You could buy special tanks. I've got actually a few of them in my garage right now. And you can also go in here and you can actually buy special ammunition. You can buy special gear. You can even equip, with this you can actually spend the actual in-game credits for special gear, but you can even dismount those particular ones using gold and move it to another tank as long as it could use that particular equipment. So overall, I personally like the game. If you are new, definitely one thing I would like to encourage is one of the features in World of Tanks is known as clans. As you can see right here, I have an SA tag. That is the tag for the Silent Alliance, a clan that I started back in, it'll be 2 years this August. And right now, we don't have that many people on. Hopefully a little bit later on tonight, when some more people and some friends of mine are on, I'll actually do some recording and look at posting some videos of those matches. Another element that this game gives you is you've got the ability with this 9.0 patch, there is such a thing as historical battles. You can platoon with with friends. You can do team battles, which, as you can read in the description, it's standard battles, 5 to 7 people limit. Those tiers 1 through 8. There's tank companies, which, are a large amount of stuff. There's training rooms, as you can see here. There's also an element called Clan Wars, where they're taking sections of the map, like since I'm on the North American server, they've actually taken the North American map and even the Canadian map and divided it up into provinces or zones or whatever that particular clans can go and claim. And each zone has a gold number associated with it. So the more you hold on to a piece of land, like Fort Knox, would get you, I believe it's 5,200 gold per day that you hold it. So that's a nice feature in itself. And so that's just a little bit about World of Tanks, what it is, what's it about, and one of these days when I actually get a lot more of my tier 10s and I get a lot more credits, I will actually look at doing a video series going up particular lines and going through each particular tank. For example, if we go through the US tree, if I ever get enough, I'll actually go through the main tank destroyer line, and or go through the secondary tank destroyer line, or something along those grounds. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I apologize if it seems like I'm rambling. If you have any questions or comments, please post them below. Don't forget to like, and please subscribe. So hopefully I will look at getting out some more videos. I will look at doing a few more World of Tanks videos, going over a few tanks. I know I've already posted a few. I believe a couple of them on the Tiger II and the M4 Sherman. I believe also the M26 Pershing. So I'm going to look at getting some more of those videos out for you. If you have a request for a particular tank you would like me to review, again, post below in the comments. I will also add a couple of links to World of Tanks, their homepage, in case you might be interested in getting started. I will also be posting a link to my clan's particular website. We welcome new people and would be more than interested and more than willing to help anyone who's getting started in World of Tanks for the first time, helping them along their routes and getting them accustomed to the game. So again, I will post those links at the bottom, and we hope you enjoyed this video. And thank you so much. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.